But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief. That thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Romeo and Juliet, Samson and Delilah. Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about Romeo and Juliet. And instead of Samson and Delilah, that just popped into my head from a 70s song. But we're going to talk about Romeo and Juliet along with Adam and Eve. Romeo and Juliet, Adam and Eve. So Shakespeare, I can't remember exactly when he wrote that. I believe it was in the 1600s, maybe late 1500s, maybe. And then I think the King James version of the Bible was written maybe shortly after that. And I think it's Elizabethan English. It was called Old English. And maybe Shakespeare's English was slightly different than what the King James Bible was written in. But a couple of interesting things. So one of the other quotes in the Romeo and Juliet, probably the most well-known, is Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? And when I was a youngster, I used to think, well, why is Juliet asking Romeo where he is? Because that's what it sounded like to me. Wherefore art thou? And I found out later, this was all probably in high school-ish kind of time, I found out that what Juliet was asking is not where are you, Romeo, but why are you, Romeo? Or why are you in the family that you're in that's creating all this conflict? So that made more sense, because why would she be asking, right? If they're talking, why would she be asking where he is? So I had kind of a similar aha thing with Adam and Eve. So they're in the garden, they've partaken of the fruit, and in Genesis 3:9. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And it's really similar. Obviously, God knows where Adam is, but Adam's hiding. And so I thought to myself, well, maybe he's asking a similar question that Juliet was asking Romeo. Not just where are you, because that's probably legit. But why are you, Adam? Why have you become who you have become now? Why are you hiding versus where are you hiding? And Adam, anyway, he blames it on Eve, kind of like, but in reality, I think that's a little misunderstood too. He simply explains why he's in the situation that he's in versus, hey, I'm over here. So I think there's some evidence that God's question is really, why are you, Adam, now, and in the situation that you're in versus where are you? I think it's a good question for all of us to ask ourselves, or to think of God asking us, why, Scott Palmer, are you Scott Palmer? What things have you done to create who you are and where you are at this time? And it's a kind of retrospect, I guess, of thinking of how and why you've developed the way you have, and why you're in the situations that you're in, and doing the things that you're doing. So anyway, a little Shakespeare, a little Old Testament, and a little insight for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I know very little Shakespeare, but I did know that. And I hope you're enjoying these videos. Please subscribe, please like, and please leave any comments. And peace out, and God bless. Bye-bye.